Okay, I'm speaking with Robb Ryerse. Did I say that right?
You did, yeah.
And Robb Ryerse is at a Netroots Nation convention, but there's something special about him. This is a Republican at the largest progressive conference on the planet. What brought you here, Robb?
Yeah, I might be the only Republican in the building, right? Yeah.
You may be the only Republican in the building running for office as a Republican.
Yeah. So
tell us a little bit about that.
So I'm running for Congress in Arkansas's 3rd congressional district. I'm a progressive Republican, an independent Republican, a candidate with brand new Congress, and I'm running for Congress because I'm frankly kind of disgusted by the direction my party's gone, and rather than kind of walking away and leaving it all behind, I decided that my best energies could be spent trying to make a difference and being a voice for people and calling the Republican Party back to its historic values.
So let me ask you, what makes a progressive Republican better than a mainstream, or not better, different than a mainstream Democrat?
Well, there's a lot of Republican values that I hold to. I mean, things like small government and, advocate for. I think the government needs to not be nearly as intrusive as it is. Needs to get out of our bedrooms and our bathrooms, quite frankly. There's also kind of a pragmatic thing. There are districts in our country that are simply bright red or bright blue. And because of gerrymandering and other factors, are simply going to vote for one party or the other. Right. And I happen to live in a district that is bright red. And so the best opportunity for independent-minded people, the best opportunity for Republicans who are progressive to beat a corporate establishment Republican is in the Republican primary. Rather than in the general election.
Now, what brought you into the fold? In other words, what do you do for a living?
Yeah, so I pastor a church. About 12 years ago, my wife and I founded a church in Fayetteville, a progressive evangelical church called Vintage Fellowship. Then I also work a full-time job. I'm the director of U.S. sales for a tech startup. So I've got time to run for Congress too.
That's going to be a difficult ordeal, but I tell you, if there's going to be another Republican in Congress, it needs to be a Republican like you. Yeah. But let me ask. What was a trigger that actually started this?
Yeah. So I learned about brand new Congress back in January. My wife actually heard the founder of Brand New Congress on a podcast, and I came home from work one day and she held out her phone to me and she said, "You got to listen to this. You got to do this." And what I heard with the plan with Brand New Congress was something that gave me hope, and hope that everyday ordinary Americans could get involved in the process and make a difference. Hope that we could break the partisan divide with a post-partisan strategy, and that's what really kind of motivated. It was not on my radar at all to run for Congress. And there was a day in January that I got up in the morning and was just going to go about my day, and I went to bed that night thinking, well, I might run for Congress. And this was not something that was on my radar, but it's something that I'm doing now because the people in my district deserve a representative who are going to put their needs ahead of the needs of the party establishment, ahead of corporate donors, ahead of special interest groups.
Now, from what you're telling me, you live in a very red district, which means you have a lot of very red neighbors, very red otherwise. Yeah. Now, what do they think about you running, and specifically now with a brand new Congress who has progressive pedigree, knowing that your neighbors know that you were running as a Republican, but probably calling you Democratic light or Republican light?
Yeah, most people, we're at an event like this at Netroots, and it's easy to kind of get into the inside baseball of politics. Right. Frankly, most people don't care about party labels. Okay. What they care about is people who are going to speak to their concerns and speak to their needs. So my next door neighbor still has his Trump bumper sticker on his car. And Doug and I have great conversations, and Doug knows that I'm someone that, even if we might disagree on a few issues here and there, that I'm someone who's going to be a voice for him.
Now, do you have an opponent in the primaries, in the Republican primaries? Or,
yeah,
he's running again.
I'm challenging Congressman Steve Womack, who's a Republican from our district, and in the Republican primary.
Now, you probably can surmise what the ads are going to look like right now. the ads from him.
Sure. He's going to call me names, and he's going to try to discredit me as a rhino, and try to say that being a progressive is bad. Frankly, I'm going to lean into the fact that I'm willing to put the needs of people ahead of the party establishment, and if that means I end up being labeled a progressive, okay, I'm okay with that, because the people of my district know that I'm someone who's going to represent them and be a voice for them.
Now, as far as fundraising is concerned, how is that going?
It's going okay. I mean, it's slow initially. Like we're not taking any corporate money, we're not taking any special interest money. And so, we're a people-powered campaign. Our average donation right now, I think, is $29. And people are donating as they find out about the campaign. Because, what we have is we've got politicians in Washington who are bought and paid for by their corporate donors. And so the issues that they advocate for and the things that they vote for are all based on who their corporate donors are. And the people who suffer as a result of that are constituents or voters, are the American people. And so we need people who are running for office, the whole slate of brand new Congress candidates who aren't taking corporate donations, who aren't taking special interest money, who are actually going to Washington to serve the American people.
So last question, what do you expect out of Netroots Nation's 2017?
Yeah, this has been a great opportunity to make some connections and have some conversations. I was a part of a panel earlier today with some of my brand new Congress colleagues, and it's been a great opportunity to just connect with people, have conversations like this. And the hope is that we can get the word out that, listen, as progressives, we can fight in both parties, and we can win in both parties.
Right, as long as we're effecting progressive policies, progressive values.
Exactly.
Robb Ryerse. Thank you very much for the interview. You have a wonderful day.
Thank you.
Great.